The rain fell like 1,000 whispered regrets that night, washing the streets of the city in silver streaks. The neon lights of the downtown district blurred behind the windshield as Daniel Miller gripped the steering wheel tighter, his jaw clenched, his heart heavy. It was well past midnight, and the music from the company's annual celebration still echoed faintly in his head. A stark reminder that while others partied, he was the one cleaning up after them. For Daniel, this wasn't just another late shift. It was another night away from his 7-year-old daughter, Lily. He had promised her pizza and movie night, but instead he was here. Driving through the storm, his boss slumped in the passenger seat, reeking of alcohol and perfume. Her name was Olivia Hayes, 32, CEO of Hayes & Co., a woman known for her confidence, brilliance, and impossible standards. Tonight, though, she was a mess. The usually composed, commanding woman who ran boardrooms like battlefields was now half-conscious, mumbling through half-finished words. Daniel glanced at her through the corner of his eye as she stirred and whispered, "I'm sorry I ruined your night." He sighed softly. "It's okay, ma'am. Just sit tight, I'll get you home safe. Before we go further, make sure to hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe to Kindness Universe for more emotional and inspiring stories like this." Olivia chuckled weakly, her voice soaked in sadness. "Say, Faye, that's a word I haven't felt in a long time." Those words lingered. Daniel didn't respond. He just drove. The silence between them was thick, filled with things neither dared to say, about exhaustion, loneliness, and the lives they hid behind their facades. When he finally pulled up to her luxurious condo, the rain had slowed to a drizzle. The city lights reflected on the marble driveway like scattered diamonds. Daniel turned off the engine, walked around to the passenger side, and gently helped Olivia out. She could barely stand. "You don't have to," she began, but he was already steadying her by the arm. "Just making sure you don't fall, ma'am," he said with quiet firmness. Inside, her penthouse was immaculate yet cold. Expensive art on the walls, crystal glasses on the counter, but not a hint of warmth. Daniel set her gently on the couch, then poured her a glass of water. Olivia looked at him, her eyes glassy but piercing. "Why are you being so kind?" she asked suddenly. "I've seen how you look at me at work. You think I'm heartless." Daniel hesitated, then said, "No, ma'am, I think you're human, just like the rest of us." Something in his voice broke through her drunken haze. She blinked, as if seeing him for the first time, not as her employee, but as a man carrying unseen battles. He turned to leave, but her trembling voice stopped him. "You have a family, don't you?" "Just my daughter," he said softly. "Her mom passed away 2 years ago. It's just us now." Olivia's expression softened. "And you're still here, taking care of me?" He nodded once. "Because that's what decent people do, ma'am. We look out for each other." That night, as he stepped back into the rain, he didn't know that his act of simple decency would change both their lives forever. The next morning, Olivia woke with a pounding headache and flashes of the night before. The shame hit her like a wave. She remembered the party, the drinks, the laughter that turned to tears, and then Daniel's face. Calm, steadied. She rushed to her kitchen, still in disbelief, and found a note on the counter. In careful handwriting, it read, "Made sure you got home safe. There's soup in the fridge if you need something warm. Take care, ma'am." Daniel. Her throat tightened. No one had done something that thoughtful for her in years. No one. She'd spent so long being the boss, the strong one, that she'd forgotten what compassion felt like. She sat at her kitchen table, the note trembling in her hand, and whispered to herself, "What kind of man does this?" By the time she reached the office later that morning, she was still shaken. But not from embarrassment, from gratitude. Daniel was already at his desk, quietly sorting files. His shirt was neatly pressed, his eyes tired but focused. When he saw her, he stood immediately. "Good morning, Miss Hayes." But instead of her usual curt nod, Olivia said softly, "Good morning, Daniel. Can I talk to you for a moment?" The office went quiet. The team exchanged glances. No one ever got called into Olivia's office unless something serious was about to go down. Daniel followed her in, mentally preparing for the worst. Inside, Olivia closed the door and took a deep breath. "I owe you an apology and a thank you." "You don't have to, ma'am," he said quickly. "Yes, I do." Her voice cracked slightly. "You took care of me when I couldn't even take care of myself. I've been running from people for so long that I forgot what it means to be vulnerable. And last night you didn't judge me." Daniel looked down, unsure what to say. "We all have our moments, ma'am." Olivia smiled faintly. "You're a good man, Daniel, and a better father, I'm sure." That caught him off guard. "How do you? You mentioned your daughter," she said softly. "You spoke about her like she was your world." He nodded. "She is." For a long moment, there was silence. Then Olivia said, "Take the day off, go home to her. And, Daniel, thank you." When he stepped out of her office, something had shifted. The whispers in the office stopped when they saw Olivia smiling, genuinely smiling, as she watched him leave. It was the first time anyone had ever seen her look human. Weeks passed, and the dynamic between them changed subtly but profoundly. Olivia began noticing things she'd never paid attention to before. The quiet way Daniel stayed late to finish tasks, the soft hum of his laughter when he showed pictures of Lily, the way his eyes always carried a mix of fatigue and hope. She started leaving the office earlier, occasionally asking, "How's Lily doing?" or, "Do you two need anything?" At first, Daniel was hesitant. He didn't want pity. But he soon realized that Olivia's interest wasn't from guilt. It was from admiration. One Friday evening, after most of the staff had left, Olivia approached his desk. "Daniel," she said, holding 2 cups of hot cocoa, "you once told me about movie night with your daughter. Did it ever happen?" He chuckled softly. "Not yet. Work's been a little demanding." She handed him one of the cups. "Then take Monday off. Have that movie night. Consider it company approved." He blinked, surprised. "Mom, you don't have to," she interrupted, smiling. "Olivia, call me Olivia, and yes, I do." That night, for the first time, Daniel and Lily had their long overdue pizza and movie night. As they laughed together on the couch, he noticed something new. His phone lighting up with a message from an unknown number. "Hope you both enjoyed the night. You deserve it. Olivia." Over the months, their bond deepened. It wasn't romantic at first. It was built on gratitude, understanding, and something purer. Olivia found herself drawn to the simplicity of Daniel's life, the way he faced hardship without bitterness. And Daniel saw in Olivia not the cold boss everyone feared, but a woman who'd built walls to protect a heart that had once been broken. She started joining him and Lily for lunch sometimes, just as a friend. But one Sunday, as they all sat in the park watching Lily chase butterflies, Olivia whispered, "I envy you." Daniel looked at her, puzzled. "Why?" "Because you love without fear," she said. "You've lost so much, yet you still give so freely." He smiled gently. "Maybe that's what keeps me alive. When you've lost someone, you realize how precious every connection is." She looked at him then, her eyes glistening. "You've taught me more about strength than any boardroom ever could." If you're feeling moved by Daniel's story, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Kennis Universe, where stories like this remind us that humanity still shines brightest in the darkest hours. The following winter, the company held another celebration, but this time, things were different. Olivia refused to host it in a fancy bar. Instead, she organized a small family-friendly event, inviting employees' children, including Lily. As Daniel watched his daughter laughing under the fairy lights, he turned to Olivia and said softly, "You've changed." She smiled. "No, Daniel. You helped me remember who I was before I lost my way." And as the snow began to fall outside, Olivia looked at the man who once drove her home out of simple kindness and said, "You saved me that night, without even knowing it." Daniel shook his head. "No, ma'am, we saved each other." That night, amidst laughter, music, and gentle snow, 2 people who had walked through loneliness in different worlds found light again. Proof that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can heal the deepest wounds.